Hello student, today we are going to learn a comprehensive problem, right? Comprehensive problems definitely are asked in CBSE examination for 8-mark question. So we are practicing 8-mark question today onwards, right? So take a problem, just take the snap. Sunrise Limited offered for public subscription 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each at rupees 11 per share. Money was payable as follows: rupees 3 on application, rupees 4 on allotment including premium, rupees 4 on first and final call. Applications were received for 12,000 shares and the directors made pro rata allotment. Mr. Hamid, an applicant for 120 shares, could not pay the allotment and call money, and Mr. Amit, a holder of 200 shares, failed to pay the call. All the shares were forfeited. Out of the forfeited shares, 150 shares, in the bracket, the whole amount of Hamid's shares being included, were issued at rupees 8 per share. Record journal entries for the above transaction and prepare share forfeiture account. Right? So this is a problem. This is a question given. So we have to take the key points. What are the things, main points given in the question? So how many shares were issued? Company issues 10,000 shares, right? What is the face value? The face value is 10, but it issued at 11 rupees. It means 1 rupees premium. Actual value of the share is 10, but the company issues at rupees 11. It means company issue at premium. Okay. So the money is receivable or payable as far as company is concerned as follows: 3 on application, 4 allotment and 4 first call, total 11 rupees. So 11 includes 1 premium. So the premium is in with allotment. So 1 rupees premium is there with allotment, right? Then the applications were received for 12,000 shares. So how many shares we issue actually? We issue 10,000, but company got the shares received 12,000. It means that company received 2,000 shares more than the issue. Got it? Okay. So the director decided to make pro rata allotment. So what our directors plan? Instead of rejecting the excess applications, they want to adjust the excess money with the applicant, right? So what is the pro rata? The ratio is here 10:12, that is 5:6. It means that those who applied 6 shares, they may allot only 5 shares. The extra 1 shares will be adjusted with the allotment money, right? So here unfortunately we have 2 shareholders, Mr. Hamid and Mr. Amit. They could not able to pay. Amit could not able to pay call and Hamid could not able to pay allotment and call. So the company, what they did, they forfeited the Hamid shares and Amit shares. After some time, the company planned to reissue the forfeited shares. So they reissue only for 150 shares, and 150 shares includes Hamid shares. We don't know how much Hamid allotted for. For that we have to prepare working note and everything, right? So this is the story of a problem. Company issued 10,000 shares, but company received 12,000 shares. But during the way, the 2 shareholders, they could not able to pay that amount. So company forfeited, and the forfeited shares were reissued to somebody at rupees 8. So this is the content of the problem. Now, before starting a main problem, we have to prepare working note. Then only it will be easy for you while solving the problem. Okay. So, how to prepare working note? So, working note, you have to take the shareholders concerned. How many shareholders are there who didn't pay? There are two shareholders. One is Hamad. Start with Hamad. Okay, what is given in the question? Hamad is the applicant of 120 shares. So, Hamad applied for 120 shares. How much we allotted, we don't know, isn't it? So, we know the pro rata ratio that is given just now, 5:6. We have to apply that proportionate rate, then we can get how much were allotted for. What is given? Applied is given. Okay, applied is 120. We have to calculate allotted. Allotted is equal to 120 by 6 into 5. 5:6, no. So, Ahmed allotted for 100 shares. He applied 120 shares, but company allot only 100 shares. Right. Now, if Ahmed applied 120 shares means he might send money, no. He might send money how much? Application money received. How much? 120 into, what is the application money? 3 rupees. So, he might send 360 rupees. But how much we allot? We allot only 100 shares. We can only adjust only for up to the 100 shares. So, we have to write here application money required. How much? 100 into 3. That is 300 only required. So, Ahmed paid extra amount, this excess amount, it will be adjusted in allotment. This is next installment. Next, we have to write allotment due. Actually, Ahmed, how much allotment has to be paid by Ahmed? 100 into 4. He has to pay 400 rupees, but he need not to pay 400 rupees because already the money is credited. 60 rupees is credited with earlier. So, he has to pay only 340. But unfortunately, Ahmed could not able to pay. So, this is arrear. Ahmed's allotment arrear. This is allotment arrear Ahmed. And moreover, he could not able to pay the first call also. So, first and final call arrear. How much? Simple. How much shares allotted? We allotted 100 shares. The final call amount is 4. That is 400. These two amounts are very important. Ahmed could not able to pay 340. He has to pay 340 rupees. But he could not able to pay that amount. And he has to pay 400 rupees on first call. But he could not pay that amount in first call also. Right. Next, we have two shareholders. No, Ahmed part is over. Second part is Amit. What is given? Amit is the older. Means the Amit share is given here. The Amit share is here 200 shares. How many shares is given? Amit is allotted for a holder of 200 shares. So, he could not be able to pay first call, no. So, we can directly multiply first call arrear, first call arrear, because the extra amount he paid in application money, that will be adjusted in allotment itself. So, no need to calculate this way. So, first call arrear is equal to 200 into 4, that is 800. So, this is the working note of Ahmed and Amit is concerned. Ahmed could not able to pay allotment and first and final call. Amit could not able to pay first and final call. So, how much amount is arrear in allotment? Allotment arrear is only 340 and first call arrear is how much? 400 plus 800, 1200. Because first call, the two shareholders didn't pay that amount. That's why the amount called 1,200 is charged. So this is the working note. So with we have to just note the working amount because we have no space at all. So I just write that amount here. Allotment arrear is 340. First call arrear, that is 400 plus 800. Now I am going to rub the board. So this is the working note. This working note will be very useful while solving the problem, right? So first of all, you have to prepare a working note, then you have to proceed to the problem. Okay. So as usual, starts with journal entry, date, particulars, ledger folio, debit amount, credit amount. Okay. So journal, date, particulars, ledger folio, debit amount, credit amount. Right. So it starts with application. So company issue how much shares? 10,000 shares. How much shares we received? 12,000 shares. So starts with application. What is the first entry? I hope you remember. What is that? Bank account debit to share application. Right. You write here bank account debit, bank account debit to share application account. Okay. So how to write the amount? How many shares were received? We received 12,000 shares. That should be multiplied with the application money. That is 3. 12,000 into 3, how much? 36,000. So write 36,000 here. So in the narration you have to write being application money received on 12,000 shares at the rate of 3 each. Right? Okay. Now proceed to the second one. Second entry. What is that? Transfer entry. That is share application account debit to share capital account to, the next entry is to share allotment, because the excess money, actually we received 12,000 shares, issue only 10,000 shares, the extra shares will be transferred to which account? Share allotment account. So you have to write here share allotment account. Clear? Right. So write the amount now. How much we received? 36,000 received. How much we actually issue? That is 10,000 into 3, 30,000. How much amount we received extra? That is 2,000 into 3, 6,000. Otherwise you can deduct with this. Right. Being application money transferred to share capital and to share allotment. Right. Okay. The first part is over. Application part is over. What is the next part? That is allotment part. So pass allotment due entry. What is that? Share allotment account debit to share capital. Check whether premium is given or not. Yes, it has premium. So we have to add one more entry, isn't it? So we have to add one more entry, that is to securities premium account. So what is that entry? Share allotment account debit to share capital to securities premium account. How to write the amount? To allotment, how many shares were issued? 10,000 into 4. That is 40,000 is receivable on allotment. It includes share capital 10,000 into 3, 30,000. And how much premium is given? 10,000 into 1. That is 10,000 is for premium. How to write narration? Being allotment due on 10,000 shares at the rate of 4 each including premium. Okay. Now pass the receive entry. Bank account debit, bank account debit. Now I am not mentioning the cost in arrear account. That's why I directly transfer to allotment. The second method of posting receive entry to share allotment. I am not mentioning calls in arrear account. Otherwise you can mention. I am using second method directly. Bank account debit to share allotment account. Okay. Being allotment money received on 10,000 shares except Ahmed's share. Isn't it? Ahmed allotted for 100 shares. No, except 100 shares, all the monies were received. Okay. So how much? How much receivable? 40,000 is receivable. Out of that, 6,000 were received earlier in application. We got that amount in advance. No. So how much receivable is now? 34,000 only. But unfortunately, Ahmed could not able to pay 340 rupees. So we have to deduct 340 here. So the amount receivable is here 33,660. Check. Am I right? 33,660 is only we received. So 33,660 the amount we might received in allotment, as Ahmed could not able to pay that amount. Clear? So being allotment money received on 9,900 shares only, because 100 shares we didn't get. Okay. Now proceed to the next one. The next allotment is, installment is, what is that? First call. So pass that entry. Share first and final call account debit, final call account debit to share capital. I hope you all remember the entries, isn't it? Right. So what is the entry? Share first and final call account debit to share capital. How to write the amount? Just multiply issue with first call amount. 10,000 into 4, that is 40,000. So write the narration. Being first and final call money due on 10,000 shares at the rate of 4 each. Got it? Okay. Now the last, the receive entry, that is bank account debit, bank account debit to share first and final call, to share first and final call account. Okay, I didn't mention cost in arrear account here, right? Now how much is due? 40,000 is due. You know, we already prepare working note. No, in first call, 2 shareholders could not able to pay. The one is Ahmed, could not able to pay 400, and Mr. Amit could not able to pay 800. Total 1,200 is arrear in first call. So deduct 1200 with this. So 38,800 only we received. We might receive only 38,800. Okay. So we prepared up to final call. What is the next entry? Do you remember what entry we have to pass? We prepared application entry, we prepared allotment entry, then first call entry, then what next entry is to pass? The next entry is forfeiture entry, right? We have to pass forfeiture entry. How many shares were forfeited? We don't know how many shares were forfeited. Yeah, 200 of Amit's shares and 100 of Emma's shares. There are total 300 shares were forfeited. So we have to prepare. There are two methods. We can combine the forfeiture entry, otherwise we can do separate. So the first problem I am going to solve the forfeiture entry, or prepare forfeiture entry in separate. So start with Ahmed. Okay. Then afterwards Amit. So what is the entry? Yeah. Share capital account debit. Share, capital account debit is the first entry. Now check whether premium is there in the question. Yes, premium is there. Whether Ahmed paid that amount of premium? No. Ahmed could not able to pay allotment. So allotment includes premium. So Ahmed couldn't pay premium. So we have to mention premium here. That is securities premium reserve account, securities premium account debit to share allotment account to share first and final call account to share forfeiture account. Okay. So this is the forfeiture entry in respect of Ahmed. So write the amount. How many shares are forfeited? 100 into face value fully called up, that is 10. 100 into 10, 1000, and premium is 100 into 1, that is 100. How much he could able to pay in allotment? That is 340. We already prepared in working note. In working note it is given. How much allotment arrear? That is 340. How much first call arrear in respect of Ahmed? Ahmed could not able to pay only 400. No. So you have to write 400 only here. 400, and then we have to deduct. So in shortcut we can write whatever amount is paid, that will be in forfeiture account. That is 100 into 3. 100 into, actually 120 applied, no. So 120 into 3, that is 360 will be there. Thus you deduct it, you add this amount and deduct with this amount, you can get this amount 360, that will be credited in forfeiture account. So you have to write here, being 100 shares were forfeited. Right. Now next is Amit. We have to prepare forfeiture entry as it is Ahmed. Start. Share capital account debit. Share capital account debit. Amit already paid a premium, so no need to mention premium here. We can write directly to share first call, first and final call, to share forfeiture account. Right. So how to write the amount here? How many shares were allotted? 200 into 10, that is 2000. Right. And the first call arrear is here. It is given the working note, 200 into 4, that is 800. So the amount received is 1,200. Right? It will be very easy for you. Share capital account debit to share first and final call to share forfeiture account. Okay. Okay. Now, being 200 shares were forfeited. Okay. Now, next entry is reissue. Then bank account debit. Now, note the question. We reissue at discount because the face value of the share is 10, but we reissuing at rupees 8. So, we incurred loss of rupees 2. So, bank account debit, share forfeiture account debit to share capital. How many shares were reissued? Only 150 shares were reissued. This is 150 into 10, 1,500. So 150 into loss, how much? 150 into 2, that is 300 loss. So the balance bank account 150 into 8, 1,200. Right? Now the last entry, that is share forfeiture account debit, to capital reserve, So this is the problem here, because we forfeited 300 shares, that is 200 of Amit and 100 shares of Ahmed, but we reissue only 150 shares. Now we have to reduce the forfeiture amount in proportionate rate. So how to reduce? Just mind it, here there is no problem with Ahmed because the 150 shares includes all the amount of Ahmed's shares. There is no problem with Ahmed, there is only problem with Amit, because Ahmed is forfeited 100 shares and reissue is also 100. But as far as Amit forfeited 200 shares, we reissue only 50 shares. Okay. Now, there is no problem with Ahmed. We have to reduce the forfeiture amount in proportionate rate. So, how to reduce? The formula is forfeiture amount divided by forfeiture share into reissue share. Now, what is the forfeiture amount in respect of Amit? Is 1,200. 1,200 divided by forfeiture share is 200 and reissue share is 50. Okay, cut it. That is 300. 630. So 300. You have to write 300. Now, so write 360 is in credit of MS shares, and in place of 1,200 we have to write 300 credited. We didn't adjust any forfeiture amount of Ahmed. 360 rupees we already wrote, and as far as Amit is concerned, we reduced proportionately and we reduced to 300. Total credit is 660. Okay, so how much is debit is given here? 300 is debited in reissue. So we just debit 300. The balance is 360. That will be transferred to capital reserve. 360. Being share forfeiture account transferred to capital reserve account. So student, practice the problem once more in your home. Let's practice in the next class also the same type of problem. Till then, thank you. Bye.